All praises to the Most High. My name is Dr. Trevor Dennis, and this is the Ministry of Pillar of Faith, bringing to you Sister Wanda Handford, who is telling you all about what it's like to leave America and go to the continent. Now, this tonight is going to be a question time. So, those of you out there who have questions, prepare your questions. I've seen a couple already posted in the chat section. That's Sister Murty. Sister Murtys, you are on time and early. Thank you. Now, next thing is, if this is your first time to the channel, do like, subscribe, share, click the bell, give us the thumbs up so that you will know when we have different people on at different times. So let's make a start. I think we'll start with the questions that we have from last time. Sister Wanda,
Yes.
let's bring her in now. Oops. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? Well, just for an introduction, tell the people a little bit about yourself because some of them may not have seen the first video.
So my name is Wanda Handford, and I relocated from America to Tanzania last year, July 2020. I have been here a year and actually almost 3 months. And it has been absolutely amazing, a pleasure, beautiful. I have nothing negative to say. I love it. And I am here to answer any questions that you may have in terms of visiting and or repatriating back to the continent and specifically Tanzania. So I did also create a business. It's called Diaspora Connect Tanzania.
Diaspora Connect Tanzania.
Yes.
Okay. So let's dive straight in with some questions. If you have any questions, make sure you write them down, and hopefully one of my moderators will be on soon to forward some of these to me. Otherwise, I'll have to do my best to read them. So my first question, Sister Wanda, which we remember last week, we were unable to get to the question, so that's why we have this follow-up session. Question: have you made any friends or many friends since you're in Africa?
Yes, I have made. I've made several Tanzanian friends and family members now, and I have also met several diaspora here. People from America, the UK, Jamaica, Australia, Canada. I mean, it's amazing how I'm meeting Americans on the continent, from all over on the continent. So I have met so many people. There has to be about 1,000 of us here. It could be more, but at least 1,000 diaspora that I have. I think that are here. It's a lot of us here, and I've met so many people. Yeah, I have met so many people, Tanzanians and diaspora. So yes.
Have you used any particular method to get to meet people? What are the places where you've gone to meet people?
The main place that I meet many people is a cafe not far from where I live. It's kind of like a popular diaspora international spot, and it's a shopper's grocery store, just like I don't know your main grocery stores in whatever country or city you live in, but it's like the hub for international diaspora, and so all of us come here. Many come several times a week. So I'm in walking distance from this grocery store slash. There's a cafe right next to it, and I spend a lot of time in the cafe on the computer, using the Wi-Fi, and I meet people there all the time. That's basically where I meet people, I connect, and then we, we exchange numbers and we do business. I'm not on WhatsApp anymore. I'm on Signal, Telegram, so I don't meet people uh, as much. That in Tanzania, most of the people that I meet in Tanzania, I meet at that cafe or at some restaurant. Many of us go to frequent the same places, so we go to the same restaurants, the same beaches. So we always run into one another because it's an international area. We live around the peninsula, so many of us run into each other when we visit the restaurants, the beaches, and the stores. So, and then there's a mall, the biggest mall in East Africa. Many of us meet there as well. So
Okay.
there are places that I connect
Well,
with the dice.
uh-huh. Well, that means that some people are going to really get off on this. They're going to get excited because I know some of you ladies love to shop, and apparently shops are where you meet the people. So whether they be your local restaurant, your local shops, and other shopping malls, you can meet a lot of people and the same beaches, apparently. So I want to thank one of my moderators is on. So I look forward to seeing those questions, moderators, that is already on, that you post them through to me, please. Thank you very much. My next question is, Sister Wanda, how far is the nearest hospital? Nearest hospital.
The hospital to me is about 15 minutes, but in each city there is, if not a hospital, there's a local clinic. So even if you are not close to a hospital, you may be close to like a clinic, but they're not that far, not around the peninsula. You can get there in 15, 20, 30 minutes. It depends on how far out you move, but there are several hospitals throughout the country, and especially in Dar. Dar is one of the biggest cities in East Africa, so it's pretty modern. And you'll be surprised. It's pretty modern for sub-Sahara sub-Sahara African countries. Dar es Salaam is pretty modern. It has a revolving restaurant that's nicer than any restaurant in New York or Atlanta that I've seen. It's beautiful. So they have some modern amenities here, and they have several hospitals. The funny thing is, many people don't go to the hospital here because they're not normally sick. It's just something I've never seen before. But they don't really use the hospitals as much because they're not really sickly. So it has to be like someone having a baby or something major, which, I mean, even for malaria, they don't really always have to go to the hospital. They can take pills. So, but there are hospitals around. There's one particular one that's kind of popular. It's called London Health. Well, actually, that's a clinic. But the reason that I like that clinic is because it has all three for you. It has medical, dental, and eye. So you can go there and you can get all that taken care of. But they do have some local hospitals all around. I don't know all the names, but they have them they're around, and they're not far. Like, you don't have to drive miles and miles to get there unless you're out, like really out of Dar, out of the city area. Then you'll have to come in towards the city. It might take you an hour, maybe two. It depends on how far you move out. Most of the diaspora, I've been recommending for them to move around the peninsula, which is an international area. And in those areas, everything that we're accustomed to and that we need are in those areas. So as you get accustomed and adjusted to the country, based on your Swahili and your comfort level, you can move further out if that's what you would like to do.
Okay, thank you very much for that. A lot of people are concerned about their teeth when they're in another country. That's one of the main things that they're concerned about. So how much does it cost to do a fill-in, say?
It is a lot cheaper than in America. That's the price I usually compare it to. For example, I had dental insurance, eye, and health, medical, and I still had to pay like a premium. And then sometimes when I would go, I would have to pay a copay and all that. But the amount that you would pay for these things, that could be a bill for you. So if, for example, this happened to me, I want to share it with you, but it wasn't a good decision, but I'm going to share it with you because I had to go to the hospital. So I got a henna, which we're not supposed to do that. So I got the henna, the dye stuff that dissolves in like 2 weeks. And so someone talked me into doing it, and I got it, and I had an allergic reaction. So I had to go to the hospital, and between the doctor's visit and the 4 medications they gave me, it was 70,000 T shillings, which is $32. So that 32 USD. So that included the doctor's visit and 4 medications. I had like a steroid, an antibiotic, I had an allergy medicine, and a topical cream. And the doctor's visit was like 70,000 shillings, which is 30 USD.
Good. So what we're hearing, do you know what it costs to do a filling, a dental filling at all?
It varies. I had a crown. I got a crown, and I think it was $300. Yeah, it was 300 USD versus I think in America it's like over 1,000 or over or something like that. So it's about almost $300 for a crown. I had to get one. So.
Okay. The next question was actually for me. Have I ever visited the continent? And the answer is yes. I've been to Nigeria, I've been to South Africa. Those are 2 places I've been on the continent. But, tell us a little bit about the first time you visited the continent, because I know you went somewhere on the continent before you went to Tanzania.
Yes,
what was that like?
First visit was I went to Ghana during the year return. So I visited. I was in Ghana for 2 weeks. That was my first time on the continent, and that's when I fell in love with the continent. And I said, I'm moving back here. I don't know how. I don't know when, but I'm coming back here. So I just simply fell in love with the weather. You come out the airport and you feel the heat, the African heat. And then you see black faces as far as your eyes can see. I thought that I had died and gone to heaven. I said, this is what heaven is going to look like. It was so many black people in the airport. I had never seen anything like that. I was just in awe at the number. We were everywhere. I mean, and you come out and everywhere, as far as your eyes can see, you have people moving about. They looked like me and you. The billboards, but everything is the TV commercials, the TV programs, the soap operas. Everybody looks like you. It was beautiful, and I said, I'm coming back here. I don't know how. I'm gonna pray and pray to the Most High, and hopefully He'll work things out, which I knew He would. But I knew then. I said, I'm coming back here. I just knew that it was my home. I felt at home, even though I was a foreigner. But they never made me feel like a foreigner.
The thing is this, that we have a picture because of the media that 80% of the world is unmelanated, but it's the other way around. Although they get 80% of the programming, they're only 20% of the people across the earth round. Everybody is melanated. That's what they found out early, is that everywhere you go, there's more melanated people than unmelanated people.
Absolutely.
So what's the crime rate like in Tanzania?
I'm not sure about the crime rate, but there's not a lot of crime here from what I have noticed. And also the police only work. This is gonna, I don't know if you ever heard this, but the police officers work business hours. They work like 8 to 5 or 9 to 6. They get off work. They don't work all night. So if you have an issue after business hours, you have to wait till the next day to go to their office when they open up. There's not a lot of crime. They police their own communities, it reminds me of how it used to be in America in like the 60s before, 50s before integration. We used to police our own communities, but that's what they do here. So I think I've seen one fight here since I've been here, and I've been here a year, 2 months. I saw one fight, and it was kind of like a pushing match. It wasn't a physical fight. It was like 2 guys were like pushing each other. and everyone in the stores, and as far as your eyes could see, were running to break them up. Everyone was running to break them up. And it was just like, wow. I mean, they police their own communities, and I don't see a lot of crime. There is petty theft, of course. So you have to be smart and you have to be wise. So if you're walking around with, diamond rings and flashy Nikes and all that stuff, then somebody might watch you or try to see where you live and may try to break in your house. I haven't had that issue, but I don't doubt that will happen, because I think some people have been robbed. So you do have to be mindful of where you go at night and how you live when you come. The flashiness, if you keep it kind of simple, then you won't be like looked at like as a target or whatever. But I haven't had that issue, but I don't think the crime is bad, because I was from in Atlanta, in America. I lived in Newark, New Jersey. That's really a lot of crime there. Then Atlanta, some areas is really a lot of crime. So it was more crime in America, in my neighborhoods, than it is here, from what I noticed.
Okay.
And they don't carry, of course, they don't have guns here. The only people that have guns is the security and the police, and they carry rifles. They don't really even use the handguns. They have the big rifles. And it's pretty peaceful. You hardly ever hear of people being shot or killed by each other. They don't, it's not like their nature to kill each other. Like, it's not like natural for them, because they don't even like killing flies and ants. So if you see ants and we're like, we're trying to, you see a fly and we're trying to kill it, they say no. They roll the window down and they let it go out. Or if you see ants, they'll tell you, watch the ants so you won't step on them. So it's not their nature, and it shows me what our nature used to be before we were corrupted. They have such a pure, kind nature about them. So even if they get into an argument or disagreement, it's more of a pushing match versus a punching, hurting, or killing match. Like, they're not out to kill one another. Mm-hmm. It's more like a sibling, two siblings rivalry fighting, or a sister and a brother or something like that, to where they're not trying to kill each other or even hurt each other. For the most part, they're probably doing like a pushing match or something.
Wow.
But that's how they're just not, they're not violent people from what I know. So, but I won't doubt that because of poverty, that it won't tempt some to try to overcharge, or to try to pay purse, money, phone in your hand, I won't doubt that they won't be tempted to snatch it or something like that.
Okay, so basically there is violence, there is crime, but it's not as much as compared with that in the West. Moving on then, what about when electricity goes out, do some people have generators? If you would recommend generators, is there a particular type you would recommend?
Generators, I'm not sure about generators, because I haven't researched any generators, nor have I attempted to buy one. They have them here, or some people bring them or get them shipped. Some people get the mini ones, like they order them on Amazon or whatever, and they bring the mini ones that you can plug in. So you can do that. That's perfectly fine. But Tanzanians don't use generators, or they use, they manage without any of that. But I know it's different. We're different from them. But I look at them and I'm like, if they could be okay and survive and make a way, then I'm like, let me watch them to see how they do it. But they don't have generators. We're the only ones that kind of run when the power goes out. If we haven't charged our devices, we're the ones that go to the cafe, the ones from the West. But you can purchase a generator. I'm just not sure about like the prices. I know there are different sizes. So if you could get one in the US maybe and ship it, it may be cheaper to buy it here though, because it'll be a T shillings. I tell most people that if you're gonna buy things, that find out if they have them here. We have mainly everything here that we have in the West. So it's a lot cheaper to buy it here. For example, I bought a Dell computer and I paid like 250 USD for a brand new Dell computer. So everything is cheaper here. So I always advise people, if you get a good deal, go ahead and get it in the West. But if you don't want to spend a lot of money, just wait and buy it here, because it's going to be so much cheaper. So due to the USD and T shilling currency conversion.
All right. Well, let me just pull back on some of the questions. I have one here. It says, my question is, back in the day, we were told that you had to have several shots in order to enter Africa. Is it true? Did you experience that? Vaccinations. Did you need vaccinations to go to Africa?
In order to come into Tanzania, you don't need any vaccinations. The only thing you need is a COVID test.
So none of the vaccinations matter for Tanzania?
Not for Tanzania. But for Kenya, you need a yellow fever shot for Kenya. But what I recommend people to do is, if you are going to go to Kenya and if you're going to come to Tanzania first, get it done. If you're going to do that, some people are not okay with that, but some people are okay with it. Because I got it when I went to Ghana. I wouldn't get anything now because I don't trust it. But when I went to Ghana, I had to get it, a yellow fever shot in order to go to Ghana. I probably could have disputed it, but I wasn't as awakened as I am now. But if you're going to choose to get something like that, do it here, not in the West. Get it in Tanzania, because they have, the price is cheaper, and then they have their own stuff here. Like they have their own FDA, they have their own doctors, and they're really big on their own stuff here. So, even with the COVID test, when I had to get it, I really didn't want to, but I felt, well, Magafuli was alive at the time, but I felt okay about getting the test done here, because he wasn't taking anything from foreigners. Like, he didn't take anything from China. They had their own stuff here. So I trusted it here more than anywhere. So, but yes,
all right.
Kenya, yellow fever, and for Zambia as well. But for Tanzania, you don't need any vaccines. You just need the COVID test.
So if you flew into Tanzania and then from there went to Kenya, would the same requirements of yellow fever and all that kind of stuff still exist?
Yes, if you are going into the country, it's going to require that.
It's a requirement. So people from Tanzania have to have yellow fever jabs before they can go into Tanzania?
Well, let me tell you, I'm going to say it like this. The West is different than the continent. On the continent, you can get things done. If you don't have things done, sometimes you can pay if you don't have things done. So
I get you. Enough said.
okay.
All right. What arrangements?
It's a lot different than in the West.
Yes. The next one is, people on Social Security, can they have their funds direct deposited to a bank in Africa, or should they keep their account in the United States open? That's a states-related question.
Okay, so there is a bank called ABSA, ABSA. It's an international bank here in Tanzania. You can open a U.S. account as a foreigner there. You just need like your passport. You need, let's see, your passport. They may ask you what kind of income you have to sustain yourself. And then I think it's like $5 USD a month, $5 a month. Yeah, and from what I heard, I don't have one yet, but from what I heard, you can open one. There are several people that I know that have one at that bank. I still have my US one, so that's why I didn't open one yet. But I'm soon I'm going to open another one here. So you can deposit USD in that bank, but when you withdraw money, it's going to come out in T-shillings.
Okay, so someone can indeed start a US bank account in Tanzania, but
Yes.
what the question was about, if you are traveled on holiday to Tanzania and you're on Social Security, can you still be receiving your Social Security?
You can receive your Social Security in your international account in the West, and what you would have to do is you would have to get a local SIM card, and you would have to open an account with the monetary system that they use here. It's called Tigo Pesa. It's the electronic transfer fund system that they use here, and you can pay anyone and everybody with that Tigo Pesa account. You have to download the app, and what you would do is you would download another one called World Remit. It's like Western Union. So what you would do is, like, this is what I do. I grab my money from my U.S. bank account, and I with World Remit, and it takes it and it drops it in my Tigo Pesa account, which is the account here, and it goes from USD to T-shillings, drops in there, and then you can withdraw the money. Or you can pay bills on your phone. It's linked. Your account number is your phone number. So if you have a local SIM card, all you have to do is download the app and create an account for yourself, and then you can do it that way. That's what most of us do here.
Okay, let me clarify. Let me clarify. You have your US account, you have your World Remit account, and you have your Tanzanian account. Through World Remit, you send money to your Tanzanian account. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. World Remit, folks. It's an app. Okay, here comes. I think that was the last one on that one. The next one is, what arrangements do you have to make if you plan to bring a pet with you to the land?
So, yeah, those arrangements are made with the airline, as well as you may have to call the. I think it's mainly with the airline, because with the airlines you have to, get the ticket, and there is something that you have to do. Also, there is something you also have to do with the country, and I'm not 100% sure about. I mean, I can find out, but I'm not 100% sure of who you need to contact in terms of when you get here, like just checking the animal in or whatever. But I know the airlines usually can give you a lot of information about that, because I know some people that had to call the airline and they were telling them how much it would cost, and when they got it there, what they would do. So the airline might be a good start in terms of calling them to find out if they wanted to, bring their pet with them on the flight, and then once it got there, how much it would be, or what they would need to do. The airline will probably be the best one to give you that advice, because I'm not 100% sure about the pets. I know some people have brought them, though. Some people have brought their cats, their dogs, and it's possible, but I don't know all the details right now.
So if we want to take our animals, cats, dogs, and little rabbits, etc., to the continent, we need to do a little research online and also check in with the airline what their requirements are.
Yes, correct.
Oh, and don't forget, we can also connect with the consulate to find out about that as well.
Yes. Yes.
All right, my next question is, where do you suggest staying for a couple of weeks? And are you available for a meetup? So someone saying, if I decide I want to come to Tanzania, are there some hotels you recommend, and maybe you want to post those. And also, can I meet you in the flesh? Ooh.
Okay, so uh, I do have a company, a business. It's called Diaspora Connect, and I do during my consultations, I provide all of that advice to my clients about where I recommend to stay. I usually recommend hotels. The reason I only recommend hotels is because the Airbnbs are not well, are not like what we're accustomed to. So even in the picture, they're not they're not the way that we're accustomed to. So I advise people to just book a hotel for about 3 to 4 days to get rest. You've been traveling, just get your bearings, and then you can look for Airbnb once you arrive here. In the flesh, you need to go look at these places to make sure that one is the same place as in the picture, and two, you have everything that you're accustomed to, like running water, a regular toilet, you know, electricity. You have to turn on all the lights, turn the fan on, turn the air on. You have to check these things. So I recommend hotels, but during my consultations, I do have a list of things that I recommend, and I advise people to do or to follow. It's like a checklist. So I'll talk to them, and then I'll provide the information to them, so they can prepare. But and I also recommend only three airlines, and I'm going to mention this: Qatar, Ethiopian Airlines, or Kenyan Airways. The reason that I only recommend those three is because they're not U.S. or European airlines. They are, based on the continent and in the West, like Qatar, Middle East, and then Kenyan and Ethiopian. They're not down right now, pushing with the mandates right now. So those are the three that I usually recommend that you try to get flights if you decide that you want to come visit or repatriate. Look into those because they're not pushing the stuff like the other U.S., European, Turkish airlines are doing. And also, that's a very, very long flight, and you want to be treated with dignity and respect. So to ensure that your flight is lovely, not perfect, but you don't have any issues, those three airlines are the ones I recommend.
Okay, so you have some recommended airline: Ethiopian Airline, Qatar Airline, and what's the other one? Kenyan Airline. Kenya. All right. So those are the three. And when it comes to hotels, you have some hotels that you do recommend, but you're keeping them up your sleeve because it is part of her business. So what you need to do is write to her. It's give us your email, please.
Yes, my email address is diasporaconnect0@gmail.com.
diasporaconnect0@gmail.com. And you can find Sister Wanda on YouTube, Diaspora Connect PZ.
Tanzania.
Is that correct? All right. So coming back now, Sister Wanda has a business, so that means there's a cost for her consultation. You said 1 hour costs how much?
1 hour is 30 USD.
How much?
30 USD.
30 US dollars per hour. So if you'd like more about that, do email her. You can also go to wandajay0110@gmail.com. JAY. Wanda, JAY 0110@gmail.com. You want to consult, find out more, get it up, email. Don't waste time. So If somebody was to be coming to the continent, would you be willing to see these people, meet them
I
for a
am
coffee,
willing
as
to.
long as they're paying, of course?
No, I am willing to meet up with people, especially those that I consult with. Like I consider my clients because they may need my service for because we do additional services like we take you to get your driver's license, your TIN number. I do business consultation. So if you're interested in doing business here, my Tanzanian partners and I would meet with you. So if there are additional services that we can assist you with, I can refer dalalis to you with your real estate agents. I can refer sisters if you need babysitters or people to wash your clothes or help you with the market, speak Swahili translators and all these good things. I provide all these services, so it is important. And yes, I am able to personally meet
Okay.
with clients.
So Sister Wanda is willing to meet with you, but you get priority if you are paid, if you are consulting, if you are going to generally require more services.
Yes.
Otherwise, you might be down on the list a little.
Yeah.
So understand that this is a business, all right? And use the services. She can help you get a driving license, help you get an identification number, and on and on and on. Support that you might need. Translating, support, looking after your children, washing your clothes, ironing your clothes, finding a place to live. All of these are services. All right. So, is there anything that you miss from the United States?
The only thing that I noticed that I missed was, well, two things. The food and that soul food, like collard greens, cornbread, stuff that's not probably not as good for us as the natural food that we're eating. But I too miss those meals that we cook in America because a lot of the ingredients we don't have them here. And then I miss roller skating. I used to roller skate, and I miss that here. Which any of us can do something like that here. That's a business, but it's not an urgency for me right now. That's something that will eventually come, but I do miss it.
All right. So you miss the soul food,
Yes.
and I'm sure you got it there. You got soul food there. You just have to be a little bit creative. A bit of cornmeal and a bit of what you call it? What's that powder called? Baking soda, and a little bit of touch of, and it's up. You got yourself some cornbread.
Yeah.
Greens is greens. So I don't know. You're missing it anyhow. It's probably what you're missing is the American flavor.
The flavor and it tastes different because they don't have actual greens like we have in the West. They have different substitutions. They have their own green vegetables, which are delicious. One of my favorite Tanzanian dishes is called mchicha, and it's like spinach and turnip greens mixed. So it's really good, but it does not taste like collard greens. And the macaroni and cheese
Ah,
does not same, and the yams don't taste the same. So
oh
it's
dear.
just something the way it tastes, the flavor, it doesn't taste the same.
I can understand. It won't taste the same, no, because this stuff is whole food rather than soul food.
Yes, yes, and it's not the best for us anyway. So we should be eating like we're eating here anyway.
Well, great. Let me see if there's any more questions dropped in. It's nice to know that you're enjoying yourself. You miss your soul food. But roller skating, I can understand. There ain't going to be much roller skating or ice skating there. The facilities are likely not to exist. But are you out there? That is another business opportunity.
It
You could
is.
go there and
Yes,
buy some land and put down the kind of floor and bring in all of the roller skates, and there you have it, a brand new business. Could be even outdoors. Who
that's
knows?
what I was thinking soon as I buy land, that's gonna be one of the things I'm gonna put on there, a roller skating ring, because the kids can enjoy it too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So how do you go about now? Let me change that question. The police. The police. You've already told us the police only work certain hours, but how do the diasporans relate to the police?
They don't bother us. Normally, if they pull you over and they ask you a question, they're actually friendly. You might, many of us still feel the anxiety because we have PTSD from the trauma that we've experienced being in America or in the West, especially in America with cops rolling up on us or even just talking to us. Your heart starts pounding, you feel anxious and anxiety and nervous, but they're really friendly and they just ask you questions. Now, a lot of the ones here are different in that, they may be like, you have some change.
That was going to be my next question.
They call it tea. You have some tea, money for some tea. So they may ask you for that, especially if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, or if you get in trouble, then you put yourself in a situation where they may ask you for that. I haven't had that experience, but I try to stay out of trouble and try to stay out of any issues. But I know some people that have been.
So
and they just
is tea money a general requirement when doing business in Tanzania?
Yeah.
When you're going to official places and other places, are you required to buy a cup of tea for folks?
Sometimes it's like the nature of the continent. I guess that's the only thing I can say, because everywhere you go, people are saying the same thing. So it's like, I don't know. It's just it's like that, People sometimes they want money for doing their job. So you're like, and for us, we're like, wait a minute, you want money for doing your job? Sometimes it's like, you figure out, you give and take. Sometimes you're like, no, and sometimes you're like, I don't feel like dealing with drama here. There you go, But yeah, it's always, sometimes you pay and then you can get stuff done quicker. Stuff can be done, processed faster. It is.
So there you have it, folks. If you want to help yourself along a little quicker, carry tea money. Carry tea money. And just help somebody with a cup of tea who may not be able to afford it. But of course, favor is always, shall we say, encouraged by encouraging labor. The Bible tells you that what is about encouragement sweetens labor. So it always sweetens labor when you encourage people with a cup of tea.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any place where people get harassed?
If you, let's see here. I would not recommend you go to the beach at night. Certain beaches, not all of them, but certain beaches, like certain local beaches, like Cocoa Beach, for example, in Masaki. I would not recommend you go at night. Many people have warned me, as foreigners, we shouldn't go there at night, and as women, you shouldn't go there at night. If you do decide to go at night, which a lot of the younger guys do, then just be down. Don't be flashy, because you can get robbed with a machete. They have machetes. They call them bandits. So they come with machetes, and their crime is not murder. Their crime is robbery. So they will rob you for your phone, your watch, your money, but they won't kill you. So their aim is never to kill you, it's always just to rob you. So, but just don't put yourself in a position, just be kind of cautious. The younger people, they don't have that sense of fear, kind of sort of like, or I don't know, they operate a little bit differently from the more mature people. So sometimes they take chances. But if they blend in, they can possibly get away with it. So if it's a young guy that's kind of simple and not flashy, then he may be able to go to the beach every night and nobody bothers him because he's not really talking. They don't know he's a foreigner. He's blending in, so he's just looking like just the next brother. So he doesn't stand out. But some on the other hand, if you're flashy, Nikes and diamond, chains and just standing out as a foreigner and you're speaking English loudly, then you could be a target, especially at night, because you have to consider the fact that the police are not working. They are not at work, and you have to wait till the next day if something happens. So you don't want to put yourself in a position to where something happens and then you can't wait to get something done until the next day when their business hours when they open, because they're not going to open just to hear your concern. And even if they're there early and you're standing at the door because you have a concern, they're not going to open the door until business hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
The lesson is, don't be flashy, don't tout your money around, learn the language, and keep low. Keep a low profile and blend in. Blend in.
yeah,
If you can't blend in, you stand out. And everything that looks like a nail gets hammered. Boom. So hold it down. Well, that brings us to no-go areas. Are there any no-go areas that you can think of?
let's see. Not really here. Um, there are no-go areas that I know of. And, they don't even have any ghettos. Some people say, is there any ghettos or any hoods here? Not really. Poverty is everywhere. In the city and in the local area. I mean, it's, so there's like no ghettos or no hoods or anything. The only thing is, I say at night, if you're gonna, I think the main thing is be aware of your surroundings. So there's no place that you can't go, especially during the day. You can basically go anywhere. But the way that you move here, especially as a woman, with the men, it's a little bit different. So you can be a little bit more yourself, because this is a patriarchal society. So women especially need to be a little bit more conscious, because before it gets dark, all the women are going home. And after a certain time, you don't even see women out on the street at all. You'll see only men, or the ones that hang out like at the bar or the club, or the ones that are working. You hardly see women out or children at night. So that's a perfect example of, keeping that in mind when you are here. It's not like the West with us, that where some of the women are out like late at night and stuff. You don't see the women out like that here. So if you're out there as a woman, you know what I mean? You just need to be mindful of how you move as a woman, whether you are with your husband or not, or single or whatever. Just do what everybody else is doing. That's what I do. That's how I blend in. I watch and see what everybody else is doing, what time they leave, what time they go home. And I try to make sure I'm home before dark. And if it is dark, I'm catching a ride, a Uber or a Bajaj or whatever. I am in the vehicle and on my way home, not out stopping, doing things at night. So it's just certain things. But other than that, I don't know of any no-go places. If every place is open. We've gone as diaspora, we've gone to the mountains, we've gone to the villages, we've gone to everywhere. So there's no-go places here.
All right. So one of the best ways to blend in is to look around, see what everybody else is doing, and do what they are
Yes.
doing when they're doing it,
Yes.
until you learn
Yes.
the ropes. So don't rock the boat
Yes.
till you
It's
know
almost
why
like
the boat is
make it
sailing the way it does.
that.
Try again.
It's almost like fake it until you make it. But I hate using that. But that's kind of like the idea. Like, they don't know that you are a foreigner because we look like them. They have no clue unless two ways they know is you speaking loudly in English and if you dress a certain way. So if you blend in and dress like them, and if you speak softly, even if you speak English, they will not know that you're not Tanzanian. They'll have to ask you, "Are you Tanzanian? Are you like they asked me three or four times, "Are you Tanzanian? Are you Tanzanian? You look Tanzanian." I say, "No, I'm not Tanzanian." And sometimes I say, "Maybe I don't know." I put on my African accent. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, I get it. All right. So, what is your most pleasant experience or discovery since you've gone to Tanzania?
Um, the experience of being able to wake up on the continent every day and look outside and see the beauty of what the Most High has created. It is beautiful here. I mean, the sky is clear, and you hear all the animals. And if you look outside early in the morning, it almost reminds you of maybe the Garden of Eden. I don't know.
They got any
So,
snakes?
um, uh,
Snakes.
I'm sorry.
Have they got any
Next,
snakes? Snakes.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't hear.
Have they got any snakes in Tanzania?
Oh, I haven't seen any. No, they're not known for the snakes. They're not known for snakes. Not in Dar because it's too. I think it's too hot. Now, if you go to the mountains like Arusha and the cooler regions where the safaris are, like Arusha, just any of the cooler regions, you might see more snakes because you see the lions and they have the safaris in the cool. Dar is a bit hot, so you don't see snakes. I haven't seen any snakes. I've seen herds though. The cow, the goat, the sheep, the chicken. Um, and then we have monkeys here and bats. We have monkeys and bats. And that's all I've seen. And we have bugs. We have a lot of the Geico looking Geico things, the Geicos that they have in Florida. We have a lot of those.
Geckos, yeah. All right. So,
Geckos, yeah, the geckos.
the thing you really enjoy is waking up and looking out at nature.
Yes. And then being in Dar, you can go to the beach every day. It's in walking distance. So if you want to go put your feet in the water or just sit by the ocean, have lunch, have dinner by the ocean, you can do that every day if you want to. It's beautiful.
Mm. Any more pleasant
It's like paradise.
experiences you've had? Are there any more pleasant experiences you've had since you've been on the continent?
How many? You said, say that again.
Are there any more pleasant experiences you have had since you have been in Tanzania?
Um, yes. A feeling of being, it's more, not really physical experiences, but I would say like how I felt. Like I feel so accepted because the people are so kind and they're so accepting of us. And it's just the pure hearts and the just living here, just being able to eat fresh fruit and vegetables and not be oppressed and not be, feel anxiety and stress because people are, you know, um, watching you or harassing you or following you or accusing you. You don't get any of that here. It's like you actually live free. You're actually free. You're those are the major experiences I have, more personal ones with the connection with the people and the environment and the nature and the food, and just it's just amazing. It's life changing,
Okay.
actually, and it seems so simple, but when you haven't experienced it, it's a huge deal. Like you don't realize how much you've missed until like you're here and you're like, I'm like, wow, I missed this all my life. So
Well, I can hear you certainly have a love and an enthusiasm for where you are. But let's not paint a one-sided picture. What about your most
right.
unpleasant experiences?
One of my most unpleasant experiences is when I first got here. I will never forget this. I couldn't speak the language. My phone was dying. I was in a Uber, and he was trying to ask me in Swahili where I am going. I have an issue because a lot of them ask us we are where we're going in Swahili, and we don't even know Swahili. So they'll say uko wapi. That means where are you? Well, that's where are you? But a lot of times they'll ask where you going, and I can't tell you where I'm going because I can't speak Swahili. And it was so frustrating because I was trying to call someone on the phone. My phone was dying, and I was scared, and we were lost. And I felt like, why can't you follow the map on, why are you guys not able to follow the map? So I was just so frustrated, and I was so scared one time because he was just so lost that he got frustrated, and he was about to like just leave and just go with me in the car, go somewhere to, I don't know where he was going. So I was like, stop. I didn't even understand Swahili. He didn't understand English. I said stop. He just stopped because I yelled, and I said, just let me out. How much do I owe you? And so he was looking at me for the longest because he didn't understand what I was saying. I was like, that's how much do I owe you? And so he told me. So I was a bit frustrated in that, you know, drive, you gotta have your phone right. We gotta have our phones right so we can communicate, because they don't understand English, a lot of them. That could be very frustrating for us and them, because if we're riding with them, if we need something, if there's an emergency, they don't understand what's going on with us. So that was so frustrating to me. Same with going, I think the language barrier was, I would say the language barrier was a big frustration at first for me, because I'm not used to being in a place where they don't speak English at all and they don't understand. And so it was frustrating if something important was happening and I couldn't get the message across to them. Like my phone was dying, and I was trying to ask somebody, can I use their phone? Nobody understood me. I was like, oh my gosh, I felt panicked. I felt panicked. But
Yeah.
I was praying to God the whole time, and he worked it out. I was praying. I said, Father, I'm in a foreign country. These people don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't understand them. Please help me, please. So he worked it out. But that was a frustrating, kind of a scary situation. And then, of course, the overcharging is very frustrating, because as a foreigner, as you know, if they hear you speak English, one word, you will get Mzungu price. Not that they call you Mzungu, which is a white person, but you're going to get that price because you only know Mzungu language. So it kind of used to offend me at first, but now I understand that that's not an African language. And even if you spoke an African language or even a Jamaican accent, they would give you more of a break. But if you speak English, French, any of the colonizer languages, you're gonna get Mzungu price. You're gonna get the highest price. Period. It does not matter what you look like. So it was kind of frustrating because you see these people and you're tipping and you're being nice and you're doing this, and some of them still will overcharge you. And it don't matter how nice and kind that you tip them and all that, because tipping is not compliments. It's not customary here. Tipping is not customary. We the only ones that really tip the foreigners. So I'm tipping you. I'm trying to, and you still overcharging me. So that was very frustrating. I have to get used to. So I just
Yeah.
decided I'm not going to shop in places where they do that. And I told them I'm gonna tell everybody I know not to come to you because you continue to overcharge people who foreigners or us, especially. Well, some of us try to tell them, I'm you my brother, we're brothers and sisters, but you're gonna charge me Mzungu price, and they say, oh, they don't change the price. Oh, so that's very frustrating. But once you learn the language, you can negotiate a little bit better. So I do a better job. I know the numbers. I know how to walk away. You got to be okay with walking away. If you feel like they're pushing it, okay, you don't need my money, I will go to the next fruit stand. And so that could be very frustrating for some people, because I talked to some after a while and they're like, everybody's always trying to overcharge for everything. It could be frustrating. From your Uber
Yep.
rides to your you go into them. Like, a lot of us don't even like going to the markets. So markets, you can really get good prices, but because we speak English, we're gonna get the highest price. Sometimes we get charged higher than if you go to the mall. I've gone to the mall, which is supposed to be middle to upper income, and mainly foreigners shop there, but the prices are set at the mall. So that means everybody's paying the same price. So if I go to the mall and I buy I bought a rice cooker, for example, I got it from the market. I paid 80,000 T shillings for it. But when I went to the mall, the same one was there for 60,000. So on the markets, I got overcharged. So I may as well have gone to the mall. So
Okay, so there's a lesson there for the foreigners. You better go to the mall than you are to go to the market, unless you
yes,
got some language skills.
exactly. Or unless you take a Tanzanian who speaks for you. So you'll go with
Hey,
them and you'll tell them what you want, and then they go ask, and then you give them the money and they pay. So it has to be kind of cognito type of situation. But just as long as you don't let them hear you speak a word of English, because even if you speak English, they won't give the Tanzanian a good deal. So you have to still keep it low when you're discussing. So this is what we do when we buy large ticket items like beds, refrigerator, stove, washing machine. We go, we look, we ask the prices, he gives all the deals, we away, walk away from that store, and we talk somewhere else, and we say, want the one in the middle, the black one, how much is it, blah, blah, blah. We give him the money, he goes back and gets it. That's how we have to do it.
that'll work. That'll work. That'll work. So, are there any more unpleasant experiences you want to share?
Um, of course, I told you about the squatter toilets, something that's different for us, and they never, ever, ever have tissue. So you have to carry, and men and women, you have to carry that with you in your bag, in your purse all the time. We're not accustomed to that, but you have to do that here.
Carry your own
Um,
toilet paper, baby. She's laughing. She's laughing. So remember, carry your own toilet paper
um,
or your own tissues.
yes,
Oh dear.
yes. I keep tissue and everything in my bag. I carry it everywhere I go. You just have to. You may have to have hand sanitizer and soap also,
Ooh,
because sometimes they just have water to wash your hands.
yay.
So you may need hand sanitizer to carry in your bag. I have a small one. And you may want to, I don't know how the soap works. You can probably get a small hand soap that you can carry, just like the hand
You can
sanitizer.
carry liquid soap.
Yeah, or
Liquid
some
soap.
people just liquid soap, right? Correct, liquid soap. Or if you forget it, you can always use the hand sanitizer as with the water. You just have to mix it up, so it'll work. But as long as you have something, you have to have something.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Can you
Another
order from
unpleasant.
Amazon? Can you order
I'm
stuff from
sorry.
Amazon if you're in Tanzania? Are you
Oh, I can
there?
barely understand. Okay.
Can you order things from Amazon if you are in Tanzania?
No, but they do have. Ooh, what you call that place? It's a place. It's something like Amazon. It's called Easy Buy. Easy Buy Africa. So go online when we get off this, or tomorrow when we get off the live or whatever, and Google Easy Buy Africa. That's in Tanzania. It's just like Amazon, but the only difference is your shipping is going to be expensive, because it's either coming
Oh, Sister Wanda is wandering at the moment off screen. So let's just recap on a couple of things. You can indeed buy things in Africa, but you will not be able to use Amazon. What you have to use is you have to use something called Easy Buy. Easy Buy is going to be Africa's version of Amazon. But Sister Wanda says that it's not going to be cheap. What's not going to be cheap? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's not going to be cheap? You're talking about shipping.
Um, Easy Buy Africa. Yes, the shipping charges, because it's going to either be coming from Europe or US, so it's going to be expensive. The shipping is going to be expensive, so the item might be Amazon prices, $5 or $6, but your shipping could be like $20 or $30. So many things that we use you can get in the West, so you don't really have to order stuff. You know, everything we have you can get here. Or if you know somebody that's coming from the West, you can.
Yeah, if you know somebody coming from the West, you can ask them to bring it and pay for the shipping. So you usually allowed 1 or 2 suitcases, get a third one, pay for the third one. That kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, I have another question here.
Okay. Oh, okay, my light.
Do
Okay.
you have big box stores like Walmart? Do you have big box stores like Walmart?
No, we do not. No, we do not.
Well, that's a short answer. No, we do not. Walmart does not exist. But I'm sure
No,
that
we
there
do
are
not.
stores.
We do have local stores though. The local stores have really cheap prices. When I say local stores, they're like a Tanzanian stores, so their prices are very cheap, and you can get mainly anything you need. So I guess it's like a mini Walmart. Maybe it's not as big as like like a Walmart size, but they have the little stores, little local stores, and you can find almost everything in those. So anything
Local
that
grocery store.
you
Okay, talk to me for a moment about what Tanzania's natural disasters look like.
um
Like in
Tanzania
the
really hasn't
Caribbean,
had any.
every year you'll get hurricane. In America, you get tornado alley. In Britain, it's going to be adverse weather, whether snow and ice or rain and flood or something like that. What's Tanzania's
Right.
version?
There are no natural disasters here. Very surprising. They don't have anything regularly. They don't have any disasters regularly here. And we're all around the peninsula, so think you would think that they would have like flooding and tsunamis and earthquakes. They don't have any of that here. They haven't had any of that here.
They've not got
It's
any kind of natural disaster.
no,
No
no,
locusts, no
no,
earthquake,
no, not here, not here.
no floods,
We say, look, we say that this is a place of safety
no
because
drought,
nothing like that happens. Everything happens all around it, but nothing happens here.
no drought, no volcano.
No. And we have we have one of the biggest mountains in East Africa, Kilimanjaro mountain, but we don't have any. Just Google their history. They don't have a history of any natural disasters. We had a threat of a typhoon or something like that a couple of months ago. Or was it last year? I think it was last year. I don't know. But everybody here was praying and nobody moved because we're all around the peninsula. none of us moved, and it kind of fizzled out in the water.
Oh,
So
prayer will get you there. Prayer. How
prayer,
difficult,
yes, prayer.
how difficult is it to open a business?
It's not extremely difficult. You just have to make sure that you connect with the right people. Decide, make sure you have a business plan or idea of how you want to, the type of business that you want to do here. There are some businesses that don't do as well as others. You have to do your research on what this country, the lucrative business areas in this country, and I can tell you now, it's like agriculture, farming, mining, because it's a lot of land here, and it's a lot of land that's like vacant. So if you want to do business, it's best to just farming, agriculture, mining. Even if you partner with the Tanzanian and do it, is what I recommend. It's ease of business here. It's to partner with the Tanzanian. You can get more accomplished in business here because you don't speak the language, and they can handle a lot for you on your behalf, and they can get like their prices versus Mzungu price. So it's best to partner with the Tanzanian, do business here, but you can go into business in any area and get it registered. As a foreign, actually, there have been some foreign companies that have been registered here. It's just more expensive to register a foreign company versus a Tanzanian company. If you partner with them, it's less expensive. And even with the work permit and residency, work permit is like 1,000 USD if you register a Tanzanian business versus 3,000 USD for a foreign company. Residency is more expensive as well. So it's always it's ease of business here in Tanzania is to partner with the Tanzanian, and then under the business, after you create the business, then you can buy land, you can buy a car, you can do everything is under the business name, not under you, but under the business.
So it's more advantageous to create a business and do everything under the business than it is to try even to register yourself. So you can have a car, you can have a house, you can have land, but it's a business thing. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So for example, I have Diaspora Connect. So when I decide to buy land, I'm buying land under the business. If I decide to get a car for the business, it's gonna be an asset of the business, just like the land. If I build a house on the land, that's gonna be Diaspora Connect's land, house, car. So it secures you your investment as a foreigner. So it's not like specifically in your name, but it's under the business name that you got registered.
Someone asked a question about how long you've been there, and you've said that a number of times, a year and 2 months roughly. How easy is it to buy land then?
It is easy once you create, because when you come here as a foreigner, you have to, in order to buy land, you have to invest in this country. And that's the laws here. These are different from Ghana and Gambia and Kenya. A lot of those places you can just go and buy land. But see, here in Tanzania, that's why the country is kind of protected from foreigners taking over, because the only way that a foreigner can buy land is through an investment. So basically, you have to create a business, or you can invest in a company that's already in existence. So if you want to invest in mining or agriculture or farming, you partner with someone who already has a business and maybe buy shares, or you have to basically invest in this country in order to buy land. You can't just come here and buy land as a foreigner. It's not difficult, but you just got to know the process of doing it. Some people don't have the patience, and they're like, you know what, let me go somewhere where I can just buy land. I don't feel like partnering with anybody. Or I don't, because if you don't partner as a foreigner, you're going to end up spending a lot more money than you really have to. But if you have the money and you want to do it, you can do that as well. You go ahead and buy the land or invest in the country, and then once you get a business, because you still have to register a business, it's either you're going to do it one or two ways: Tanzanian business or foreign company. In order to buy land, you have to invest. You have to create a business or invest in a company that's already in existence. And when you invest in a company that's already in existence, you have to invest a certain amount of money into that company in order to buy land. land. You're gonna invest all that money. You might as well just register your own business and buy your own land.
Mhm. Well, it's admirable that the leaders of that country have protected the country
Yes,
by ensuring that foreigners cannot take over. That's
yes,
admirable. So, um, in terms of the country, what they're really looking for, if I hear you correctly, is investment. They're looking for
yes,
people to come along and invest in the country to help the country to develop. Is that about right?
yes, correct.
Okay. So what about your McDonald's and your Burger Kings and all that? Is that there as well?
They don't have McDonald's and Burger King. They have KFC, Pizza Hut, Subway.
Okay, so all of the franchises are not there yet. That means there's another
Yes,
business in bringing franchises to that particular country if you have the money. Next
yeah.
question is not a question, it's just thank you. So I would like to thank you. Thank you for tonight. But before we
You're
wrap up,
welcome.
please tell us if there's anything else you would like to advise people of before we come off. What
Yes,
would you say?
I actually did a video recently, I think today earlier, about a tourist visa. This is very important. A lot of people do not know this, and I notice a lot of our diaspora coming here do not know this. But um, if you come into this country on a tourist visa, you're just visiting the country. You're not doing business at all. So you're just a visitor. So if you are caught doing business, then they may require you to get a business visa, which you have to pay like 250 USD every 90 days versus a tourist visa, which you don't have to pay. You get the multi visa once a year, and then you just have to leave the country every 90 days to 120 days. But if you do business here, you have to be very careful because I notice a lot of the diaspora, especially the younger ones, are coming here doing business, and they're on a tourist visa, and that's not a good idea because you can be fined and you can be in a situation if you come here on a tourist visa and you do business. So just make sure that if you do decide to come on a tourist visa, most people do come on a tourist visa, and that's fine. But just visit and look around, and right, do your planning in your mind, but you just don't want to physically work here. Meaning, you don't want to be selling stuff here. If you are here as a tourist, you do not want to be selling items here. You can sell things online. You can have an online business. You can do everything you want to online, especially with USD because you're not making money. You're not making shillings. But if you are a tourist here, you cannot set up a table and sell stuff here because you're a tourist. You're visiting. You're not supposed to do that here. So a lot of people don't know that, and I notice a lot of diaspora have been doing that. They got to be careful with that. They just don't know the laws. They just follow. A lot of people follow what other people do, and I did a video about it because it was like really in my spirit. It's like the Most High was like saying, you need to do a video about this for some of y'all. Kind of like urgent. I know what I need to do, but they may not know. So I decided to do a video because a lot of people may not know. They follow other people, other YouTubers, and it concerns me because a lot of people don't know, and if they see other people doing it, they come here and start doing the same thing, and that could be a situation for them individually, in that they might want to do business, and they may have they're not ready to set up a business yet, or they haven't, trying to figure out what kind of arrangement they're trying to make with the Tanzania or whatever. But if you start doing stuff like that, then that can mess up your plans because it'll put you in a situation where you have to go ahead and start spending extra money because you're doing things that you're not aware of. So on the tourist visa, the only thing you should be doing is visiting. Now you can work online. You can make USD. You can work online. If you have online streams of income, that's perfectly fine. But just working here in this country, you're not allowed to do that because you're not allowed to work here physically unless you have a work permit. That's one. And then two, if you want to do business, you have to get a business visa to do business here. So if you're on a tourist visa and you decide that you want to register business, you can do that. So for me, I am the CEO and I control operations of the business. I can do that anywhere. I can do that here. I can do that in America. I can do that in, in Europe. I can travel and do that because I'm not physically working. My work is online. What I do is mental consulting. So it's mental properties. It's not physical. I'm not physically selling something here, but I can hire someone like a Tanzanian to work for me, and like a Dada sister or brother to do like office administrative work. And I can set like an office up in because I have a business office address. So I can set an office in there and pay someone to work, a Tanzanian to work there. Now that's legal for me to do because this is their country, they can work here. I just can't do that. I can't physically be working like, actually, doing orders or selling stuff out of a place, a physical place. But I can do online stuff. So I oversee operations. I'm the CEO, and I oversee, I oversee operations. So I can do that legally. I can do that, but I just can't physically work right now. So we have to be mindful of the laws here. They're kind of strict when it comes to some stuff. They're not as tolerable as some the other countries that you can go and basically do anything like in the U.S. We're used to doing whatever because we're citizens. But when you come to another country, you got to find out what the laws are in these countries. You can't just come over here and just start doing business if you're on a tourist visa.
Okay.
Because, yeah. So that's a big deal.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's clear up a couple of things. First of all, you spoke about the tourist visa and you talk about the business visa. Are there any advantages to having a business visa? What are they?
To be honest, in my opinion, not really. I always recommend that everybody comes here on a tourist visa because you don't know what you want to do right now. You have a little bit more time to decide while you're visiting because you might want to visit different areas to see if you want to start a business and if you want to set up a business in Morogoro or Arusha. You might want to visit different regions, Zanzibar. You might want to visit different places and then think about what you want to do. Get your business plan in order in your mind. It's okay to organize if you have a business idea, you can organize it while you're on a tourist visa. You don't physically have to be doing anything, but just getting everything in order. And then what I would recommend is just go ahead and get your business registered. You can get a business registered on a tourist visa. If you want to go ahead and get it registered, you're on a tourist visa. Get it registered, and then once you get it registered, and because it's going to take a while, then everything goes through. You still, as you're doing this, you can still leave the country every 90 days, every 120 days. Visiting different places. Hey, you may want to do business in Kenya. You may want to do business in Zambia, Malawi. So while this is processing here, you're still on your tourist visa, but you're leaving the country. You're going to different places. Hey, you might want to start a business in these other places. So you go there. You set that up. Then you come back here. You check on this. It's okay to do that. You can stay on your tourist visa, and you may want to still leave every 90 days to go check out other countries that you might want to do business in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, but one of the things that you have stressed is that you can work online, and so a lot of people do online work, whether that be consulting, whether that be administrative, whether that be some kind of online sales, etc. Seminars, teaching, training, a whole bag of things can be done online. And so you can make a living online. And if you can, then that means that you can stay perpetually on a tourist visa. Is that right?
That's correct. You can do that.
All right. So we've come to the end.
Yes, you're working online.
If there's anything else you want to add, please do.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, so you're working online. You're not making T-shillings. You're making USD or pounds or whatever your currency is. So that's different. that's how you make your money. That's how you make a living. If you're a book writer, or if you are a, whatever you do, your stuff is online. So it's okay to get a tourist visa here and traveling and making money online as your work, because you may have your own business online. As long as you're not physically working in this, like outside working, selling stuff. You have a table set up here and you're selling products. Don't do that. But everything else you can do.
I have a question. What about taxation? Where does Wanda have to pay her taxes?
You can pay it quarterly or you can pay it annually.
Where? Where? Not
the
when?
Tanzania Revenue Association, if you have a business. It's like the IRS, but they have their own tax people, and you pay them 30% of your revenue or your income. You can do it once a year or quarterly.
I see. Okay. Well, we've come to the end of tonight, and we want to thank you so much for your time and your energy, and thank our moderator and all of our guests. If there is any last thing you'd like to say, including do share your contact information again, why don't you do that now?
Sure.
Last.
Sure. My name is Wanda Handford, Diaspora Connect Tanzania. It's my YouTube channel name. You can reach me if you're interested in a consultation to visit Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, or Tanzania in particular. And if you want to repatriate, you can reach out to me at via Diaspora Connect, DIASPORACONNECT0 @gmail.com. My personal email is Wanda, WANDA, JAY 0110 I do consultations, 30 USD per hour. You can email me and we can set up a consultation. And then I will advise you, give you, we can either talk via Telegram, Signal, Messenger. We can talk or I also send you text information like a checklist that you can go through as you're planning your trip. The final word that I would like to leave with everyone is this is a beautiful country, and the continent itself is our home. So come on back. There are 54 countries. If you're not comfortable here, there are other countries that you may be more comfortable in, but at least you're free and at least you're home. And if you are interested in coming to Tanzania, I am here to assist you, to give you all the pointers that you may need to kind of get yourself situated if you want to do business. Just ensuring that you comply with the laws and rules and guidelines. So, but I do encourage you to at least come for a visit. If you're apprehensive, don't be. We have hospitals. We have everything here that we have in the West. I've been here a year, as like I say, a year and 3 months, 2 months, and I haven't had any major issues, any major sicknesses. Nothing, no major issues. Little annoying situations here and there, but for the most part, it's a beautiful place. It's a lot better than the West. You're respected, you're appreciated. You do have some issues, but not nearly as many as in the West in terms of like treatment. And and then also your money goes further here. So you can do a little bit more here than you probably could do in the West. So if the economy gets bad there, which it is, especially in America, people are losing jobs and things are getting really tight. At least here it's a lot, it's less expensive, so you can survive here with little. So if you have some form of online streams of income, Social Security, disability, any kind of income, online businesses or streams of income, gigs, or anything that you do, those little things will go a long way. You can do a lot more here with it because of the currency conversion exchange rate. So it doesn't take a lot to live here. The most you might pay for is rent, which is usually 3 to 6 months, but everything else is very affordable. So just consider this place, the continent actually. And yes, you have, even here in Tanzania, they're not really mandating anything. So the jabs are here, but nobody's really, not a lot of people are really paying attention to them because it's like, it's optional. So it's like, if you're down with the West, you go get it. If you're not, then you don't. I mean, it's nobody pushing body. It's free. You do what you want to do. Nobody's really pushing masks and social distancing. Definitely not, because it's too many. The continent have too many Africans on it, and they live all together. There's no way in the world that they can do social distancing here. No way. No way. Because too many people live together, and they're in close quarters, and they're all. It's so many people at the beaches, and the kids are playing at the park. Oh, life is going on here. Like, nobody's. It's almost like a different world here. So we're not mandated by anything. We're not forced. Some of the governmental buildings, you have to put a mask on. In the mall now, they're making you wear a mask, but most of the time they just make you buy it, and then you go in and nobody has one on. So yes, nothing is really being pushed here. So which is nice, because you can live freely and make your own decisions. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sister Wanda. You know, that is what I call hard sell. You are selling Tanzania hard. You know, come home, ye who are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Yahusha is calling, oh diaspora, come home. We
Yes.
want to say thank you for your time again. And to all of you who are out there, like, subscribe, share, click the bell. Let us know that you've been watching. And if you have more questions and you couldn't quite connect, you can always write to me, HebrewApostolic@gmail.com. We sure do look forward to hearing from you wherever and whoever you are. And put your hands together. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Oh, that smile is a 1 in a million smile. So for everybody out there, remember, don't wait for your daddy, mommy, or uncle to tell you. Come and know for yourself.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Where I don't think I'm on it.